Under the watchful eye of the Passover moon, Jerusalem slumbers, its ancient stones bathed in long, eerie shadows. The rooftop offers a silent panorama of the city, a quiet testament to centuries of history and secrets. A gentle breeze whispers through the narrow alleyways below, carrying with it a palpable sense of unease. The stillness of the night is deceptive, hinting at hidden tensions simmering beneath the surface. Even the stars seem to hold their breath, as if waiting for an unknown event to unfold. The air is thick with anticipation, a prelude to a night where destinies might shift under the pale moonlight. Flickering oil lamps cast a warm glow on the upper room, where Jesus and his disciples gather for a final, solemn meal. Unspoken emotions hang heavy in the air as the disciples look at each other. Jesus kneels, a basin of water at his side, his face serene. He takes a rough towel, preparing for a humble act of service. One by one, he begins to wash their feet, a gesture of profound love and humility. The disciples watch, a mix of confusion and reverence in their eyes as Jesus fulfills his act. Soft light bathes the upper room, casting a gentle glow on the faces of Jesus and his disciples. Jesus, serene and composed, lifts the bread, a beacon of peace amidst the disciples' unease. A mix of confusion and apprehension clouds the faces of the disciples as Jesus prepares to speak. "Take, eat. This is my body which is given for you," Jesus declares, his voice resonating with solemnity. His gaze sweeps over them, a profound connection forged in this sacred moment. "Do this in remembrance of me. Drink from it, all of you. For this is my blood," Jesus says, "shed for many for the forgiveness of sins." In the upper room, Jesus turns, his gaze piercing Peter with profound compassion. A heavy silence descends as Jesus prepares to deliver words of grave importance. "Simon, Satan has asked to sift you like wheat," Jesus declares, his voice resonating with solemn warning. The weight of the impending spiritual battle hangs heavy in the dimly lit room. In the upper room, Peter stands, his figure commanding attention. His voice resonates with unwavering conviction, filling the room. "Lord, I am ready to go with you to prison," he declares, eyes ablaze. His voice unwavering, he proclaims his loyalty. "Even to death." A moment of intense resolve etches across Peter's face. The weight of his words hangs heavy in the air. In the upper room, Jesus' gaze pierces Peter, filled with a sorrow that words cannot express. The air hangs heavy, thick with the weight of impending betrayal and unspoken fears. Jesus speaks, his voice a gentle lament, foretelling a painful truth. "Peter, before the rooster crows today," the words echo softly, a haunting prophecy. "You will deny 3 times that you even know me," Jesus says, his eyes reflecting Peter's future pain. Under a starlit sky, Jesus guides his disciples out of the city, their figures silhouetted against the ancient walls. The Mount of Olives looms, a silent witness to the solemn procession. Cool, still, air hangs heavy with unspoken anticipation as they walk. The rhythmic chirp of crickets underscores the stillness, a natural chorus in the tranquil night. Their path winds upward, each step deliberate, each breath measured in the quiet ascent. The weight of destiny settles upon them, palpable in the serene yet foreboding atmosphere. In the Garden of Gethsemane, Jesus kneels on the dewy grass, his face turned towards the heavens, seeking solace in prayer. Around him, the disciples huddle, their eyes heavy, struggling against the pull of exhaustion. Jesus implores them to pray, his soft voice a plea against the rustling leaves, a whisper in the night. Weariness becomes a relentless tide, pulling the disciples into slumber one by one. Their heads nod, surrendering to fatigue, as Jesus remains alone in his vigil. Footsteps echo, shattering the garden's stillness. Torchlight flickers, casting wild shadows. Judas leads soldiers into the olive grove. Priests and guards follow with grim faces. Determination hardens their features. The night holds its breath in anticipation, In the serene garden of Gethsemane, Judas leans in, his kiss a silent betrayal under the watchful stars. The kiss lands, a signal cast into the quiet night, sealing Jesus' fate with a single, deceptive act. The garden erupts as soldiers surge forward, their rough hands seizing Jesus, innocence caught in a web of malice. His followers watch in disbelief as their leader is captured, the tranquil garden now a scene of sudden violence. In the Garden of Gethsemane, Peter's face contorts with fury, his grip tightening on the sword. Driven by protective rage, he lets out a guttural cry, a primal sound echoing in the night. The blade flashes, a silver streak under the cold moonlight. The sword slices through the air, aimed with desperate intent. The high priest's servant cries out as his ear is severed. Peter stands, panting, the sword dripping, his eyes wide with the horror of his actions. In the Garden of Gethsemane, Jesus halts Peter with a gentle yet firm grip on his arm. A soft, ethereal glow emanates from Jesus, highlighting his serene focus. Jesus' gaze softens as it fixes on the servant, his presence a beacon of calm. With quiet authority, Jesus speaks, his words resonating in the stillness. "Put your sword away," Jesus commands, his voice a gentle plea amidst the rising tension. In the Garden of Gethsemane, the disciples scatter in terror, their unity shattered by encroaching shadows. Peter, torn between dread and loyalty, lags behind the soldiers, his face a mask of conflicted emotions. His breath hitches in ragged gasps, each inhale a testament to his inner turmoil and wavering resolve. Visibly shaken, he struggles to reconcile his fear with the unwavering faith he vowed to uphold. Jesus is brought into the high priest's house, the torches casting long, dancing shadows that fill every corner. Religious leaders gather, their faces a mixture of anger and grim anticipation in the flickering light. The air crackles with tension as the interrogation is about to begin. Every glance is filled with malice as they look at Jesus. Under the cloak of night, Peter stealthily enters the courtyard, hugging the shadows, hoping to remain unseen. He moves with care, each step measured, acutely aware of the open space before him. The courtyard is eerily silent, save for the rhythmic crackle of a fire blazing in the center. Flames dance wildly, casting long, distorted shadows that stretch and writhe across the stone. The flickering light illuminates Peter's tense face, his eyes darting around, alert to any sign of danger. The fire's warmth offers no comfort, only highlighting his vulnerability in the vast expanse of the courtyard. Sunlight drenches the courtyard as a servant girl pauses, squinting, her eyes fixed intently on Peter. She takes a step closer, her gaze unwavering, a seed of recognition beginning to sprout. Her voice pierces the air with accusation. You were with Jesus of Galilee." Peter freezes, caught in the harsh glare of her scrutiny, the weight of her words hanging heavy. A palpable tension fills the courtyard, the servant girl's challenge echoing in the sudden silence. Peter stands in the courtyard, a subtle tension building within him. A sudden tightening in his chest causes him to avert his eyes, a silent struggle unfolding. His discomfort is palpable as he shifts, trying to mask his inner turmoil. I don't know what you're talking about," Peter stammers, his voice betraying his unease. His denial hangs in the air, a fragile shield against the unspoken truth. Fleeing the inferno, Peter desperately seeks distance from the raging fire, his face etched with fear. He rushes towards the courtyard gateway, a silhouette against the flickering flames. Another servant spots Peter's hasty retreat, their eyes widening with suspicion and alarm. Peter's escape is noticed, adding a layer of tension to his desperate flight. In the courtyard, she stands tall, her face a mask of resolve, an indomitable force against the gathering storm. Peter trembles, his eyes wide with terror, a stark contrast to her unwavering stance. Her voice rings out, clear and cutting. "This man is one of them." The accusation hangs heavy in the air, sealing Peter's fate with chilling certainty. In the courtyard, A heated argument erupts, filling the space with palpable tension. He stands firm, a statue of defiance against the brewing storm. His voice rings out, sharp and clear, cutting through the heavy air. "I am not," he declares, the words hanging in the balance. Each syllable is a challenge, a gauntlet thrown in the dusty courtyard. The very stones seem to vibrate with the intensity of his conviction. A man emerges in the courtyard, his face set with determination, a stark figure against the backdrop of stone. He is a relative of the servant, his eyes narrowed, remembering the violence Peter inflicted. He steps forward, his voice cutting through the air with accusation. "Didn't I see you with him in the garden?" The courtyard falls silent, all eyes turning to Peter, the weight of the man's words hanging heavy in the atmosphere. In the tense courtyard, every gaze is a physical weight, dissecting him under the harsh light. Fear washes over him, threatening to drown him in the sea of accusatory stares. A guard's voice pierces the silence, sharp and condemning. "You're one of his disciples. Your Galilean accent gives you away," the guard declares, sealing his fate. In the courtyard, Peter throws his hands up, sweat beading, his face etched with panic as if facing an unseen horror. He stumbles back, eyes wide, desperately trying to escape the invisible force closing in. The air hangs heavy, thick with unspoken dread, as tension coils around him. A rooster crows in the distance, its call slicing through the silence like a sharp blade. "I swear I don't know the man," Peter cries out, his voice cracking with desperation. His denial echoes in the courtyard, unanswered, only amplifying the surrounding dread. Jesus is led across the dusty courtyard, his footsteps echoing in the tense silence. A sea of faces watches, their expressions a mix of curiosity, judgment, and fear. Their eyes meet, a silent exchange of understanding and unspoken emotions. Sorrow, love, and tenderness fill Jesus' eyes, a profound depth visible in his gaze. Dawn breaks, casting a pale orange light on Jerusalem's walls. Peter, his face a mask of shame, emerges from the city gates. He is running, a lone figure against the awakening world. Tears carve paths down his cheeks, mirroring the despair in his eyes. His body trembles, overwhelmed by the weight of his actions. Sobbing, Peter vanishes into the desolate darkness, seeking solace.